Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to continue on the NLP training, learning how to use it. And what NLP stands for is Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And a lot of people are confused about how it works. And basically, when your language and the way that your body is programmed to react to certain situations, you already go into what I would consider a habit. It could be fear, it could be laughter, it could be excitement, or it could be holding yourself back, not sure about things. So there's a lot of things that happen, whether you get stuck or you're able to move forward with NLP is the way that you're going to use it. And language is a huge part of the NLP because the linguistics, which is what you're saying to yourself or others are saying to you, and it goes into your mind, that's what's going to have you start acting or reacting differently. And I really want you to make sure that when you use your words, especially to yourself, that you are using what I call power words. Now, the other thing is that NLP is really great for sales. So if you're in a sales situation, there are certain things that you will be able to do that are going to not only help you feel more confident, but also to help you start steering the conversation so people see it much more positively instead of negatively. There's enough negativity out there, but what you want to do is really more of where's the benefit? How are you going to help somebody? So, as an example, let's say I'm an ex-mortgage banker. I was going to say I'm an old mortgage banker. I'm an ex-mortgage banker. I'm not old. Um, and for instance, when I would go against other companies, sometimes everybody was always on rate. What's your rate? And majority of the times we were pretty close, if not all of us were at the same rate. So let's say the rate was 7.5. And then they would go down the fees. And sometimes we would waive the application fee and sometimes we wouldn't. It depended on what the company wanted as far as bringing in and sales and selling the market and all that good stuff. But people would nickel and dime you. And our credit report was $12.50. And 50 cents. And I remember a particular client that said, well, you're $12.50 more. Why should I go to you? And I remember being on the phone with this guy, thinking to myself, you're going to complain about $12.50? He didn't see the value in what I was doing. He didn't see the value in anything because his value was money. How, and most likely, he had exactly the right amount of money to put down to figure out how to get into the house. And he was probably so tight that every penny counted. We've all been there. But what I didn't do at that time was show him the value. My years of experience would have been able to help him. So I would have been able to say, if I really wanted the sale, but I, it was funny because I didn't need the sale. I had made my numbers and I didn't want a pain in the ass client. So I decided to let him go, which was okay. However, if I really wanted to save that sale, I could have done one or two things. I could have said, well, I'll eat the $12.50 and then gotten the sale. Or I could have said, I can and I will be able to not only help you with getting your mortgage, but also I'll be able to show you other savings where we can go along the way, whether it's with the appraisal or with the title insurance. There's so many other ways that I will be able to help you that you can see the benefit so that you can get into your house, making a difference, and then close. But I didn't use any of those words. I was tired. I was fed up. And I just said, fine, go someplace else. It really depends on your attitude. Now, at that point, I didn't know about NLP. Would it have helped me? Yeah, I would have made a couple of $1,000 and I would have been happy. But again, it was really depending on what my attitude was. And my attitude was, I just don't want to deal with pain in the ass. So sometimes with NLP, you have to decide what's more important. And you also have to decide and project what are your benefits. So when I start asking clients afterwards, I would say to them, because I did learn from this, how tight are you? Does every penny count? Because if every penny counts, let me show you different ways we can get you into the house and not have you sweating it out. That's NLP. Learning, taking in the information, and then being able to drive it and have it go to a certain way that benefits both parties. You're not going to use NLP to just benefit you because after a while, karma does come and bite you in the ass. But when you ask questions and you listen, and then you start opening up your mind to figuring out ways, and then you use your language to say to them, let's figure out another way that we can get you into this house so that also you're not sweating it out every month trying to get to pay that nut of a mortgage because there's going to be other emergencies. There's going to be other things that happen. You don't know what's going to happen. And then will you be able to pay your mortgage? We don't want you to have to think about, am I buying food or am I paying my mortgage? Am I paying my electric or am I paying my mortgage? Let's make it easy for you. And that is part of what NLP is. I'm going to show you other techniques in the next video for next week to show you how to use your hands to calm you down. I love one of the techniques that I'm going to give you. It is fun, it is easy, and then I'm going to throw it on my website because I love it so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Remember, neuro-linguistic neuro-linguistic program. It's a big mouthful, I know. That's why I call it NLP. It changes the way that your brain, your thinking, your acting, your reacting starts handling life differently. And so I want you to start thinking about using your words, being more positive. Don't use failure words like try or can't or maybe or probably or I think, I guess, I don't know. Because when you give people those words, especially in sales, you will not get the confidence of the buyer and you will fail. This is Kathy Linder, your favorite mindset architect, looking to help you to succeed. Thanks and have a great day. And let me know how you like the techniques and if you're using them. I would love to know. Talk to you soon. Bye.